Assalamu alaikum, family. Greetings to everyone watching YouTube and Facebook world. We are streaming live with our Tuesday night broadcast. Business is warfare, and tonight we have a powerful topic that we want to get into today. So we have been pushing the book, The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews, Volume 2, Volume 1, 2, and 3, primarily Volume 2. And we have promised to go into some of these chapters in here. Not going to read the whole chapter. It's too long to do that. So it's not going to be a reading session, but we want to go in here and look at some of the quotes and some of the statements in this book to make you get a better understanding on why you need to get the book, why you should get the book, and how you need to get it fast so you can help us against this warfare that we're in against the so-called satanic Jews, that are imposter Jews that are really posing as our friends but are really our enemies. In this book, The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews, the whole volume series explains how the Jews gained control of how they got so wealthy, how they took over the banking system, the politicians, how they primarily, in this one here, explains how they took control over the black economy, right? So before we get into that, I want to do clear up something that was said Thursday night on Separation of Independence broadcast. Well, I made a mistake. I said when I was talking about the sun, I said that the sun was 14,700 degrees Fahrenheit, and that was an error. It is 14,072 degrees Fahrenheit. So I wanted to clear that up. Didn't want to wait to Thursday because I might would have forgot. But y'all know how we always get started with business is warfare, this broadcast, right? But I did want to set the tone, and our topic tonight is all about the Benjamins. The ex-slave meets the Jewish merchant. This is a chapter inside of this, and we're gonna go into this, and this will help us get a more understanding on why we must do for self or suffer the consequences and come together with our dollars, with our talents, with our gifts, and start to produce something of future for our children so we can actually fight back. So with that being said, family, we will be right back soon to this video from the minister, Business is Warfare from 2016.
Business is really warfare, but it's the activity of life itself. You say, well, business means I need to open up a business. Okay, yeah, that's right. But real activity of life has to deal with all the essentials of life that we must provide for ourselves, our families, our future. I have something in my pocket that, gee, where is it? Oh, yeah. I have a gold coin. In 1961, I was sitting with Elijah Muhammad, and he took out of his pocket a gold coin. This is 1 ounce of gold, pure gold, okay? Mr. Muhammad put it on the table. He said, one day soon, this gold coin will be the new medium of exchange. White people are moving into the inner city. Some of them knocking on doors. They come with money and they ask you for your gold. Because what they're giving you, I think I got some of that in my pocket. Yeah, I think I do. Now this is paper. This is not real money. This is real money. Silver is real money. Now, you young people, some of the elders in the audience, like myself, this used to be called a silver certificate. How many old people in here know when this was a silver certificate? And you know what it said on the bottom? Pay to the bearer on demand $50 in silver, the real money. This is what you call monopoly money. Oh, you didn't hear me. We're going to do some business tonight. Because business is really warfare. What's about to happen? This week it came out in the news that in 2016, all the major banks are in trouble. It started with J.P. Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. What makes a bank in trouble? When the value of the paper that they have begins to lose its value, then the bank is in serious trouble. And so are we who have our money in the bank. Now, white people that are in your neighborhood, they're in the pawn shop now, and they're telling you in the window, bring the gold, we got cash for you. They know you don't know that this is losing its value every day. But gold will increase in value. Now this one here, I bought it today, or sent a brother to get it today, because I wanted to use it to explain something. 1 ounce of gold, this little piece right here, is 12.
All right, family. So that lecture there was from 2016 at Tennessee State University, where the minister showed us that and that topic right there. By him explaining that and breaking that down, and been breaking that down since like 1979, right? That's another reason why the so-called Jews are also mad at Minister Louis Farrakhan, because the minister, if we understand, family, who this man is, he is the one who exposes all of the tricks and lies of the enemy, also called the synagogue of Satan, right? But we have to get what he takes and then apply it to ourselves. It is not for the minister to make these institutions. It's not for him to create these systems for us. It's for us to connect with our brothers and sisters all over the planet, use our allies, use the connections that the minister has made for us throughout the years, and then connect with other peoples and get into trade and commerce, and then we could get out of this system. But as long as we are still working for them, circulating their dollars, which is their number one tool today, right? The number one instrument that they use to keep us in this box, right? Because the dollar hasn't been money since 1971. That process started in 1913. Not finna get into that on this stream, but we're gonna get into the latest edition of the Final Call, because we always use this to highlight the digital Final Call. And please comment in the comment section. Let us know if you got your subscription in the last week or so, and let us know if you're a new subscriber to the digital Final Call, and give us some love and let us know that you have in support of the Nation of Islam in the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, in the only black international newspaper in the world that doesn't have any outside forces that is not influenced by white media, nobody except us, right? So this is an important paper, and I have told the story before how important this paper is to me, right? Because it saved me when I was in the belly of the beast. Matter of fact, I wasn't in the belly of the beast, I was in the bowels of the beast doing a federal bid. This Final Call newspaper helped resurrect me where I have become the man that I am today. So this one is the new one that came out today. Volume, I can't really see that. It look like 28, number 42, right? But anyway, the title or the main article here, the cover story is, what did the Nation of Islam minister really say? Why are celebrities, sports figures target for any nearness to Minister Farrakhan? What is the history of the controversy with the so-called Jews, and is Minister Farrakhan anti-Semitic? Right? We're not going to go too much far in the depth into that topic right there. The truth about Farrakhan. Now it's all here. So man, family, listen, family. The paper costs you $13.99 for approximately 3 months, right? It comes out every Tuesday. You can have a phone or an app on your phone, the Final Call app, and every Tuesday you're going to get a notification with the new up-to-date Final Call issue that comes out, family. So make sure you're getting it, and please get it, family. And you can also go to www.noi.org to order the books that you need to get. Message to the Black Man, How to Eat to Live, Fall of America, Our Savior Has Arrived, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the Self-Improvement Study Guides, the Basis for Community Development, Self-Improvement. You need to get those. The 3 volumes of The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews, right? And I'm just gonna go over some of this stuff that is here. I'm not gonna go in depth with it. Probably Thursday, inshallah, we will go more into depth in one of these articles, but not gonna do so tonight because we got something else we're gonna get into. But please get this article. So look at this. So just to show more of the scam, right? So the Final Cause exposes everything. The United States Supreme Court upholds pay-to-vote scheme, allowing Florida to impose poll tax on those with felony convictions. So basically what they're saying, if you're a felony in Florida and you want to vote, they're going to tax you, right? So it's just a lot of stuff in here. We got the 5 top lies told on Minister Farrakhan. We were getting in that. We got an article from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad that you definitely need to get. The centerfold is always an excerpt of a lecture from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, right? So the 5 lies that the satanic Jews tell on the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Like we said, Thursday we might go more into this article, but these are the 5 lies that they took out of context. Our minister just never said it. Number 1, they say Farrakhan called Hitler great. No, he didn't. He didn't. They taking that clean out of context. And great doesn't mean good, right? But we got to know and understand language. So great, a person can be great for a particular cause or a particular people, but that don't mean that they are a good person. So the minister never said that Hitler was great in the sense meaning he good. What he did was a good deed or whatever. So they just took that clean out of context. Never said that. Number 2, they say he called Judaism a gutter religion. No, he didn't. He said hiding evil practice under religion is a dirty religion when you're practicing contrary to the fundamental principles that make up a religion. If I say I'm a Muslim, then my book that I got to abide by and live by is the Holy Quran, right? If I do anything that violates the fundamental principles out of 5 pillars of Islam, then I can be considered practicing a dirty religion under the skies of a holy name, Muslim, right? So that's what that means right there. But he never said the word gutter, right? They just took that clean out of context. Just another lie. He calls Jewish people satanic, right? That's a lie. He don't call all Jewish people satanic. He don't call none of the Jewish people satanic, because if you're a true Jew, then you can't be satanic, right? Because you have been circumcised with the word you are bowing down and you are submitting and living by the statutes of Moses found in the Old Testament, also known as the Torah, right? So he's not talking about that because the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan is a Jew because he lived by the Torah. The Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan is a Christian because he lived by the gospel, right? The Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan is a Muslim because he lived by the Holy Quran, right? So when you understand and when you got root knowledge, we can tie all of these religions together because we can get to the root of them. But all religious practices has a fundamental principle that one must uphold to be considered that, right? So he never called all Jewish people satanic. That is a lie, right? He is anti-Israel. That is a lie, right? Never said that. We are anti-evil, anti-racism, anti-inequality, anti-injustice. We are when people anti-slavery. We are anti-bondage. We are anti-evil, wickedness. Anything that's bad, we anti that. So he never said he was anti-Israel. That is a total lie, right? Then number 5, he never called the Jews termites, right? Right? He never said the Jews was termite. He said he is anti-termite. He said he's not an anti-Semite. He's an anti-termite. And they took that and ran with it. It goes back to an old quote that if you throw a rock in a rock in a pack of dogs, the only dog that hollers is the one that got hit. The one that got hit hollers, right? So that goes back to that old saying right there. But these are 5 lies and 5 tricks that they constantly pump on us, and but it's on now though. The warfare is on, so you can see this latest edition is dealing with a lot of beating back the flood because the enemy is putting out a flood against our people, and you can always get in the back of the final call what the Muslim program, what the Muslims want, what the Muslims believe. So get that, and then for yourself, tell us, do you see anything that deals with racism, hatred, or anything? Because the minister cannot teach racism, cannot be anti-Semitic, because none of his students or none of his followers have ever did anything to a Christian church, a Jewish synagogue, another Muslim masjid, nothing like that. So no violence under the watch of the Nation of Islam has no act of violence on no other race, no other people, no other religious practice since 1977 till now. 43 years, a clean track record, right? Because we are taught against violence, but we are no punks. So if you hit one of us, best believe you gonna get the business. So don't get it twisted, right? We would take slander, we would take backbiting, we would take hating, we would take rejection, right? We would take you talking bad about us, but you will not put your hands on one of us. But that's just any righteous person is gonna defend their self, because if you try to hit me in the face, I try to harm me, I have a God-given right from the originator, from the creator, to defend my face, my body, my well-being, right? But we will take whatever comes out of your mouth in disrespect, especially from our people, right? So we do not do acts of violence, right? But we are no choir boys, so you're just not gonna walk up and hit one of us and think it's all good and dandy. So don't get the non-violence posture, or we haven't did any acts of violence. We don't want nobody to get it twisted, right? So we are peaceful people, right? But if you come at us in a certain way, because the Holy Quran tell us to fight with those in the matter that they fight with us. So the Jews are fighting with us with lies, and we are fighting back. We are fighting them back with truth. No harm, physical harm is upon them. But our God that came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, the great Mahdi, he is going to punish them, and he is punishing them. So pay attention to what's going on around the globe, and make sure you listen to everything that the minister said, because after he delivers messages, you can see stuff starting to speed up, right? So we need to go to the Bible and read in the gospel when Jesus was in the garden. When Jesus was in the garden, the crucifixion speeded up. His end, or his time among us, was very limited, right? So the minister is not going to be among us pretty much not too much longer, right? So you can look for the Great War or Armageddon to kick off, and you can look for all out calamities, earthquakes. All of this is coming, family, but we have to be prepared. We don't want to scare nobody, but you have to be prepared. All you have to do is just follow and listen to the guidance from the Nation of Islam, and you will survive, right? You don't have to put on a bow tie. You don't have to put on a headpiece, but you do have to accept the guidance and submit to the guidance and carry it into practice if you want to survive what's about to come. So, with that being said, family, before we get into our main topic tonight, we got a clip. And anybody that's get this book, make sure when you get this book, family, make sure that you view the 3 lectures delivered starting in June 2010. Who are the real children of Israel? It's a 3-part series, lecture series, started in Atlanta, right? Then the last 2 was in Chicago. Make sure you study those lectures first, then you get into this book. So if you're waiting to order your book, go ahead and study those lectures. It's on YouTube, right? So you can go and watch it for free, or you can go to the Final Call or the Nation of Islam website, www.noi.org, and you can order that series, or you can have it on DVD, just in case YouTube decided they want to take anything with the minister down. But for you to get a full understanding of what happened to us from this book, you need to study those 3 lectures, because they go with the book, right? They go with the book. The minister is revealing it. The book is the proof, right? So you're going to get a more of an understanding if you hear the lectures first, then study the book. So I wanted to make sure we make that clear. Who are the real children of Israel? Was a lecture did in 2010. So with that being said, family, before we get into our main subject matter, we do got another video, another excerpt of the minister taken from 2010. Who are the real children of Israel? Number 1. This is the first one, right? And this was in Atlanta, Georgia. And I just want y'all to hear the minister, because this is unveiling and help y'all get an understanding on why the nation is hated by us. Not why the nation is hated by us, but why we are hated by this word and by this system and by the ones who claim to be the children of Israel, but they have stole our identity, and now we got the proof. And the minister has been asking for open dialogue that they keep running from, that they do not want to have. So if they saying they got truth and we not, and we anti-Semitic, and we all of the stuff that they call us, why they don't want to bring their scholars? We bring our scholars, and we have a showdown where everybody can see it on a public forum, where everybody can see who is really telling the truth, who is really the hater, because they know they can't win. So this is a clip from the first lecture, Who Are the Real Children of Israel, family. We'll see y'all. I'll be back, and then we're going to get into a little bit of the book, and then we're going to close this broadcast out. Assalamu alaikum. Be quiet, please.
Do we do business like business should be done? Let me hear an answer. In the word business is the word busy. And when you're busy, you're engaged in some focused activity. Business is the activity of life itself. When you are a living organism, you must be engaged in that which preserves and maintains your life. There is no creature that God created that is not busy feeding, sheltering, procreating, extending itself. If we are a living people, see, inanimate objects don't do this. They don't procreate. They don't go looking for food or shelter. They're inanimate, meaning they're not living. But what about you? Ever since we've been in America, we haven't provided food, clothing, shelter, education for ourselves and our people. Am I lying? You graduated from Morehouse, Clark, Howard, Tuskegee, Florida A&M, North Carolina A&T. Yeah. And you have degrees. What have we produced? Of food, of clothing, of shelter for our people. If you find as a living creature that you need something that you don't have, you look around for somebody that has what you need, and you enter into trade and commerce as a living people. But you are not alive. You are dead people. You have flatlined on business. Now, if you look at all the people of the earth, the ones that are the most busy, showing that they have the most life, are the members of the Jewish people. Why are they this way? Because they had the prophets. And they learned well. Now, I'd like to read you something that I found in this book. It talks about the percentage of Jews in America, but the number of Nobel laureates. Their percentage outweighs everybody's. They are the best in science, in medicine, in law, in art, in culture. It's a tremendous people. How did they get it? Through trade and commerce. Our lessons tell us that they set up a trading post. See, they understood the value of commerce. We haven't got it yet. You got brothers and sisters all over the world that you can do business with, but we have no commerce or trade with the peoples of the earth, and we sit around in America looking to white people to give us a job. Listen. You're dead. You're like inorganic matter. That's why our young people are so bitter and so angry, because they came into a world and we prepared nothing for them. You telling them stay in school for what? To come out like you? You're angry with them because they found unity in a gang, because there was no unity in the house. They're justifiably angry and defiant because we, their parents, have produced nothing for them that will give them a future. So
All right, family. So y'all heard that's just a quick 6-minute snippet of what you're gonna get once you go ahead and you study the words of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan from 2019, one of the most powerful lecture series that the minister has ever made. Right, all of them powerful. I can't say that, but that is definitely one that is an eye opener. And then the books come behind that to prove his point. Right. So as we go into it, right, he talked about how we don't do trade and commerce, right? We don't know nothing about trade and commerce because we trade and commerce is foreign to us because we're afraid of network marketing, right? But you can't network without having trade and commerce, right? When you have trade, you got to produce a product, right? And then to get involved in the commerce expands how far the product and your trade and post goes, right? So the Jewish people understand that they are marvelous when it comes to business, banking, science, you know what I'm saying, warfare. They are absolutely marvelous. Nobody can take them that away from them, right? Just like we heard our brother Master P yesterday on the stream we did yesterday when he was interviewed by TMZ real quick, and he said that our brother Nick Cannon shouldn't apologize because it's about ownership. Either you're a boss or you're a worker, right? When you're a boss, you don't have to worry about what you say or what's on your uh um Instagram page or what's on your Twitter page, what's on your Facebook page, right? When you're a real entrepreneur, you create brands, you come up with a product, you get involved in systems. You look to get involved in systems that's already operating in function. Whatever makes the job easy or whatever makes the business easy because it's about leverage. The Jews have unlimited amounts of leverage, right? And we're going to get into this because after this chapter here, it is the name of the chapter that's after this chapter that we're going to get into next week is the Jew and Black Labor. Woo! I started to do that tonight, but this one came first, so we had to set the tone, right? So all about the Benjamins. The ex-slave meets the Jewish merchant. So one of the things that we don't understand is that when we was on the plantation, family, prior to 1865, before emancipation, right? The Jews were the pillars. However, they sold a lot of retail to the plantation owners, right? So once we was free from the plantation, we didn't have no businesses. We didn't have nowhere to go. By that time, the Jewish people, the Jew had took over the South with trade and commerce. They had took it over. They had all the merchandise. They had all the product. They had all the stores, right? So once we came out, then you had the Reconstruction, the Great Compromise of the Negro, 1877. We was forced back on the plantation, but as sharecroppers, right? So now we're getting a wage. Now we're working, still doing what we was doing before we was freed, so-called free, but now we're on the plantation sharecropping, right? Now we're still doing the same thing, but they're giving us a little wages. So now the average Gentile merchant don't want to deal with us. Remember Jim Crow? Negro, no color, no colors allowed in here, right? No colors in this hotel, no colors in this store, no colors in this restaurant. The Jew didn't do that. The Jew was smart, like, oh, all dollars the same. Why are we going to turn away their free labor where they're coming to us where we own the land? Now we are selling to the slave master, right? Who got the slave on a wage salary, and the slave is bringing. So now we're getting all of the money. We don't have to wholesale to the slave owner no more. Man, this is deep, man. When we understand what these people have did to us, man, and what we want to do in far money, what we want to do is to produce in your mind to do for self. And doing for self is just not doing for you. It's just not you starting your own business. It's about you trying to make it easy and pave a way and come up with systems for your own people. The doing for self, that's a broad title. That's a broad thing. Yeah, it says just do for self was phrased by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. I suffer the consequence. But so some of us have mistaken what do for self really is, right? Yes, do for self, you can go get a job. You're doing for self, you're getting up and you're doing something, right? But when you're talking about doing for self, you're talking about creating something, starting something, building something for your people long term. Do for self. If you look like me, that is self. When I see you, you my other self. You understand? So I want to provide opportunities, not so much jobs. I want to provide leverage for my people. I want to make it easy because they have always had it hard, right? I want to we want to make systems and brands where our people can tap into it and they do less work but get paid more, right? Because we've been doing more work, getting paid less, right? So these are some of the factors and some of the things that forward money is about. This is what we're about. And I get this from the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan, and ultimately the God, Allah in person, Master Fard Muhammad. He didn't come to make us workers. We was already workers. He came to free us from that stressful life, right? He came to set us on top of civilization. But he can't set us on top of civilization if we still the employees, if we still the workers, if we still sharecropping. So listen at this now. I'm just gonna read this quote right here, this paragraph, and then I'm gonna get to another one, and then we're gonna wrap this broadcast up. Now, this is found on page 252. Now, this chapter, all about the Benjamins, the ex-slave meets the black merchant. The ex-slave meets the Jewish merchant, excuse me. Now, this starts on 251, and it's the 4th chapter, right? And this is scholarly writing. Everything that is quoted here was quoted and said by a Jewish rabbi, a Jewish theologian, a Jewish professor, or a Jewish historian. That's why they don't want no showdown with us, because they can't deny nothing in this book. Nothing. Footnotes, man. Our research team did a marvelous job with this, right? They can't get out of this. That's why they don't want no showdown, man. They can't win. There's no debate about this. Why? Because they got to call all of their historians, all of their professors, all of their rabbis, all of their scholars liars then, because we only quote them. So listen at it. The Jew store in the Jim Crow South targeting the Negro market. Listen at this. This come out of the Talmud, the Babylonian Talmud. This is the book that the satanic Jews live by. They don't live by the Torah. The good Jews live by the Torah. The satanic Jews who came up with their own scripture and said it was from Allah, the Lord of the worlds, they live by something called the Talmud. So a lot of y'all never heard about it. I never heard about it until I joined the nation, right? And I grew up in the church, never heard it one time. So that just lets you know how deep they control run, right? Yep, just telling you now. So now this is what it say. This is out of their scripture book, right? That don't come from the Lord of the worlds at all, right? It come from them and their scholars and rabbis. They put it together and said it's from Allah. So they are condemned anyway. They can't win. It's a wrap, right? If a man sees that his evil desire is conquering him, let him go to a place where he is unknown, done black, and cover himself with black, and do as his heart desires, but let him not publicly profane God's name. Did you hear me? So what it is saying? That your evil desire is conquering you. Let him go to a place where he is unknown, done black, and cover himself with black, and do as his heart desires. So just go and do whatever evil you can do. Just go do it among the Negroes. This is what it's saying. Just go do it among another people, man. This is what they teach. This is in their book. All right? The Babylonian Talmud. Now check this out. The end of the Civil War saw an invasion of Jewish peddlers into the Deep South, who, according to historian E. Melton Carter, secured a great amount of the Negroes' trade. Y'all hear me? His name is E. Merton. E. Merton secured a great amount of the Negroes' trade. The Pacific and aggressive targeting of blacks by Jewish merchants and peddlers as they emerged from the depths of chattel slavery is one of the most significant but wholly unexplored aspects of the black-Jewish relationship. And it gives you the footnote where you can go and get this statement from, this facts from. Man, this book here is powerful, man. Oh, hey, listen. Now check this out. It goes further now. The 4 million or so black free men were not just Americans' newest citizens, but a huge new customer class who needed food, shelter, and clothing, just as they did when they were enslaved. While white Gentile merchants were horrified by the sheer thought of a free nigger in their midst and often refused his dollar, often refused him, the Jews clearly saw beyond the black skin to the greenbacks in the ex-slave's pocket. After all, Jewish merchants had profited handsomely by supplying the needs of the slaves through direct dealings with the plantation master. Emancipation simply rerouted that same revenue stream through the hands of the ex-slaves in a form of wages. Man, we have always been ruled by wages. Man, this is deep. That's why the minister, when you got to go hear that lecture, man. That's why he gets so passionate about it. Because y'all think we free. You think you free with a job. You not. They still rule you. So when somebody bringing you an opportunity, you got the nerve to say somebody's a pyramid scheme, a pyramid scam. You in it. We trying to get you out of it. Man, this is deep, man. I've excuse my past. This ain't to nobody. If you got a job, this is not targeted at you. It's just I want us to be free, family. I want everybody to experience freedom, right? I want everybody, not just black people, but everybody should be able to live a free life, right? We was created and given free will. But when you have a job, when you're bombed down by debt, when you're bombed down by the stress of how you're going to feed your children, how you're going to keep the lights on, keep the water on, how you're going to clothe your children, right? That restricts your will to do what Allah put in you to do. So we can't see your best self. Y'all got to understand this, man. That's why we created the brand Fard Money, because we're bringing you an independent system. And it's really an obligatory system, because if you don't get involved with it right now, you're going to stay in that subservient worker-employee state, even after the dollar fall, right? Check it out. So let's go. It gets even farther. It gets even further now. It gets even heavier. Business had moved from wholesaling to the sure and the conservative plantation owner into retailing to the inexpensive and financially naive ex-slave. We didn't have no knowledge. We couldn't read for 310 years, remember? Well, 250 of those 310 years, who was willing to spend much more on himself and his family than his white master ever would. Jewish peddlers and shops offered the first and often the only market for these new black customers, some of whom were seeing and handling money for the first time in their lives, said one Mississippian in 1868. This is a quote. The Negroes kept a large amount of money in circulation in the country and consumed on a much larger scale than formerly, which makes the business of supplying them as lucrative, if not more so, than planting or renting. Y'all hear this? This is a quote 3 years after we was let off the plantation, and we still in this same predicament right now. Right now, we are still in this same predicament. Over 100 years later, we still got a lot of currency, because that's what the dollar is, coming into the black community, and we still don't own nothing, don't control nothing. We still have nothing. And the majority of it go right back to the same Jew who print the damn dollar. This business is warfare, man. We don't play on this platform. If it's too hot for you, just go ahead and slide on off, right? But we don't play on this platform. We're going to give it to you in the raw, right? Because it's time now. Business is warfare. Well, they froze my screen. I ain't coming back. You see me, baby? I'm froze. Do you hear me? All right, family. Look, my screen is froze, so I'm going to have to wrap this up. All right. I'm going to read this last paragraph, and we're going to end right here. All right. So check this out. Do y'all see me? I'm black on the screen. All right. You don't see the black screen either? Huh? All right, family. What to see? Can you hear me? All right. So now, family, let's go. Since we having this this problem with the data, it looked like the enemy at work. He don't want y'all to get it. We going too hard, right? If y'all still hear me, right? So let's go ahead and play this clip from Master P. Let's go ahead and play this clip and see if y'all see this from Master P, and hopefully this will bring us back. This is about only a 2-minute clip, and let's break it down while Master P is speaking to what's going on. Let's go.
You know, it got pretty serious. You know what I'm talking about, right? With they said anti-Semitic remarks or whatever. Yeah. And a lot of people are now saying, like, you can't even be saying that, and then also trying to get justice for your people. Mm-hmm. So what do people do right now with this whole, like, anti-Semitism talk?
Well, I think it's about ownership now. We got to start owning our own product, owning our own networks. Until then you can't say what you want to say all the time. You got to watch what you say when you're a public figure. So, my advice to Nick, it's time to go own something now. You want to do something, let's go do it together. But we got to start thinking ownership. We got to stop burning our blocks down. We protesting, we got their attention now. It's time for us to own something now.
So you think that's where it stems from, like the idea that all the black talent, that's out in America, it's not black owned. Is that?
It's got to be. If you look at right now, Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben, 130 years those products been on the shelves, and we didn't own it. But it looked like us, so we've been spending money, billions and billions those companies made. Now it's time for people like us to come up with products, come up with brands, and also own the product. So we can put money back into the communities. We can create networks, production companies, so now we can own it. And then you don't have to worry about getting fired if you own something.
So what's the advice that you give to caution black entrepreneurs that are calling out for that to happen, but they're mistakenly kind of getting into this anti-Semitic kind of lingo?
Well, guess what? You don't need to be talking about it. And that's what I'm saying. You either the boss or you're a worker. It's the difference. If you're the boss, you don't have to worry about that. You know what I'm saying?
Do you feel like his career? I mean, you see, he kept the Masked Singer job. He's made an apology.
The only thing that I hate that Nick Cannon apologized. He shouldn't have did that.
Really?
Yeah. You know why? You know why I say that? Because whatever's gonna happen, gonna happen. He's not the boss of that company. So if you really stand on that, just stand on it, and you know that you might say something in a moment or whatever. But I think Nick Cannon is a good guy. So I think you got to realize what you're doing. You're working for somebody. So if they get rid of you, they get rid of you. What are you going to do?
But I mean, when the shoe's on the other foot.
No, everybody deserves. I'm just saying it's about just doing what's right. If you do what's right, you don't have to apologize. And if you want to make your own views, because everybody got an opinion now, social media. It's
Right.
not even Nick Cannon. Anybody, it could be a regular person saying something. Somebody walking up the street could say something. And what are you going to do? Everybody has opinion now because it's social media.
All right, family. So we're gonna close out because my data is messing up. My connection is messing up, right? So we're gonna go ahead and close out, and we do have a stream in the morning that we're gonna break out. So be on the lookout for that, and make sure you subscribe to the Digital Final Call. Make sure you donate to Muhammad's Economic Blueprint so you can help us get more good, wholesome food out to our people from Muhammad Farms. And if you want to get a gold savings account, if you want to exchange some of your worthless dollars into 24 karat 999.9 pure gold, if you want to invest in gold, if you want to make gold investment, right? If you want to invest in a cryptocurrency that is gold, right? If you want to, what else could you do? If you want to, put this back up then. All right, family, what about now? Y'all hear me now? Do y'all hear me now? Do y'all hear me now? Y'all still don't hear me. All right, family, what about now? Oh, yeah, okay, I'm back. Okay, so here it is, family. I'm going to go ahead and end. Go to the Digital Final Call, get your Digital Final Call subscription. Go to Muhammad Economic Blueprint and donate to Muhammad Economic Blueprint to help us get farmland out. You know what I'm saying? The website is running at the bottom of the screen. If you want to turn your dollars, exchange some of your worthless dollars, depreciating dollars into 24 karat 999.9 gold and get some cryptocurrency gold, go to farmoney.com. And if you want to be an entrepreneur and be an online business owner in 149 countries, go to farmoney.com. But I do, before y'all get off, I want to read this last part to y'all, which is very key to what we just was talking about. And then we on page 253. And then we're going to close out. The forces of white supremacy were adamant in their opposition to the formation of an independent black merchant class. This is another reason why they hate the minister and the Muslim Allah Muhammad, because we teach ownership, brand building, doing for self, right? And the savage Jewish merchant strategically positioned to exploit this valuable new group of consumers quickly became the dominant commercial and financial entity in the lives of the new black communities forming all over the South, all across the South. Jewish historian Dr. Lee Wiesbach of the University of Louisville studied Jewish life in small town America and found out that the prospect of opening a store with very little capital was enhanced by the presence of a large African American population that seemed to offer a ready consumer base for Jewish entrepreneurs. Man, family, go and get this book, family. With that being said, family, We'll see y'all on the next broadcast, on the next live stream. Thank everybody for sharing it out. Thank everybody for tuning in. We apologize for the data, but Satan is working. He is in black my screen now. With that being said, family, assalamu alaikum, salam, au, we out here.